This happened when I was 14. One weekend, I went to the mall with my brother and his friends. I was the only girl in the group, so most of the time I just stayed on my phone. I was also really introverted. I felt bored and ignored, so I asked my brother if he could take me home. He told me he'd be leaving after a while because we lived far from the mall. I had no choice but to wait for him, but at the same time I was upset with him. So I left the group and started wandering around on my own. As I was browsing through some shops, I made eye contact with a man. He looked to be almost 40. He quickly walked up to me and asked, "Are you here alone?" I'd had plenty of creepy men try to talk to me before, but something about his strange tone made the whole experience even more unsettling. I politely said, "No, I'm here with friends," and started walking away. He began walking alongside me and said, "But it looks like your friends ditched you, pretty girl." I sighed and answered, "Yeah, that's why I'm alone. Other people can be jerks, but that shouldn't stop us from having fun." He said this while smiling brightly. Now, before you judge me, remember, I was only 14, and I was really angry that my brother had ruined my weekend. I asked the man if he knew of anything fun to do. He told me there was a new game area that had just opened. I looked across to the entertainment zone and saw my brother laughing and having fun with his friends. "Stupid buddies," I muttered under my breath. Then I said, "Okay," and agreed to go with the man to the gambling area. He said we needed to go to the basement because that was where the game zone was. I believed him. I really wish I hadn't. We got into the elevator with a group of people. I'm sure they assumed he was my guardian, so nobody thought twice about a 14-year-old following a stranger down to the mall basement. One by one, everyone else got off on the first floor. Soon the elevator was empty. The man pressed the button for the basement. When we arrived at the parking garage and I stepped out of the elevator, my heart nearly stopped. "Are you sure there's a game zone here?" I asked. He smiled even wider and said, "This place is still under construction, but I've got the key to the virtual racing machines." I nodded, not realizing just how deep I was sinking into his lies. He started walking deeper into the dimly lit basement, and I followed, not knowing what else to do. I wanted to text my brother, but of course there was no signal underground. The man began talking again. "Since no one's going to bother us, I'm going to enjoy this racing match so much." The way he said it suddenly sounded disturbing, carrying a creepy double meaning. He went on, "Those racing machines are so huge I could enjoy them for hours." Yes, that's exactly what he said. By the time we had reached halfway across the basement, I kept glancing back, trying to measure the distance between me and the elevator. That's when a chilling, horrifying feeling surged through me. He broke my heart and I stopped, saying, "Oh, my brother just sent me a text. Looks like I'll have to come another day. See you." I quickly turned around and started heading toward the elevator. I walked fast, but I didn't want to run, because I didn't want him to think I was panicking. Suddenly, I heard footsteps rushing toward me. When I looked back, I saw him sprinting straight at me. His face was full of frustration and anger as he shouted for me to stop. That's when I knew I had to make it to the elevator. I nearly slammed into the closed doors, frantically pressing the button, praying to God that the elevator would go up before he could grab me. As the doors finally closed, he was only a few inches away. Just then, my brother and 3 of his friends appeared, signaling with stones in their hands. "What the hell are you doing here?" Jimmy demanded. "I saw you in the elevator with some guy. What's going on?" My brother sounded worried. I glanced back at him and pointed at the creep, but he was nowhere to be seen. I was sure he had slipped away. Realizing my brother had come to get me, I told him everything about the man. He took me straight to mall security and reported the suspicious old guy. I just hope he wasn't still lurking around.